Yeah? Why are we wasting
dude,
an
I
evening for
forgot
this?
to
But
even summarize what happened last game. All right.
sloppy.
Did I even write a
Ah,
summary? Oh my god.
This is
I
how you
didn't
know.
write a session 28 summary.
This is how
Oh,
you
damn,
know.
I'm gonna have to summarize it right now off the top of my head. Alright, so, you guys, made this cool deal with, Zagur, right? And he said to you guys, alright, so here's the plan. You're gonna do whatever I say, and then I won't kill you, and if you do it, I'll give you Agatha, and I will, give you your dog, and I won't kill you. I think that's the gist of it. And then he gave you permission to use the red gate, and then you guys left. He kicked you out to do what he wanted. You guys arrived outside of Bajo Key, made your way up. You encountered an adorable owl bear, which Gerald charmed, and then you came up here to Bajo Key. You met Jugo, who gave you some awesome talks about how you're all one with the universe. You learned about the world's eye, which is this tree, which you're supposed to cut down, and is like this wellspring of magic from the heart. And, am I forgetting anything else important?
the owlbear charmed Gerald.
Yes, the owlbear did charm Gerald.
I couldn't beat the wisdom saving throw.
But anyways, you guys have been given permission to stay in Bajo Key for as long as you like. Jugo has encouraged you to open your mind to the peace of the universe, and invited you to attend his evening lesson. You are currently in, as the sun is setting, you're in your little paper dojo-looking Japanese house with paper mats, and yeah, your turn.
Yeah, so we sort of left in a situation where Dan had no idea what the heck he wanted to do, I suppose. So, what's on the table?
You know what? I have to be an ass and say I still have no fucking idea.
That's great. It's time for yoga.
Are you guys ready for your evening yoga?
I suppose we would at this point. Yeah.
All right. So. Oh man, I have to scroll so far up in my notes because I've written so much useless shit since last time.
Your
Okay.
stupidity astounds me.
I know, right? So you guys, evening is here. You slide open the door, make your way out onto these temple grounds, and you can see once again Jugo is gathering his students here at this platform, overseeing the waterfall atop this beautiful lake. The sun has just finished setting, and there's like this beautiful streak of like dark purple fading into night across the horizon, and clouds are stretched out across the sky, still holding some of that light from the sun. And you make your way down to the platform, and you can hear Jugo is now beginning to lecture, and he kind of sits there cross-legged, tells everyone to take a deep breath in and out. When you meditate, release your sense of individuality. Our hearts beat with that of the world's. We are all a part of the same whole. And the students, are you guys kind of, what are you guys doing here?
I suppose we walk in, we're unsure where to be seated, everybody's looking at us, or probably trying to ignore us, and we're just sitting in the corner waving like, hi, is this okay? Do we go here? Do we go, is this,
Shh.
excuse me.
One of the monks turns around and shushes you.
I sit down right next to him.
Okay.
I sit on the other side of him.
He has his eyes closed. He's like his like fingers are touching face up on his lap. Together, everyone's like, like centering themselves in the with the universe. You're just kind of sitting there awkwardly.
Is this okay?
He's like trying, like his hands are like quivering a little bit, as he's just like trying to focus on the universe.
I feel accomplished.
All right, so this has been going on for about 20 minutes at this point. How are you guys doing?
Well, since I have disrupted this man's inner peace, I have found it within myself.
You find
For the
inner
first
peace.
time in a while, I feel just a little bit better.
You do. It's actually, you know, after you get over like kind of like the weird awkwardness of it all, you find that there's a deep sense of like peace and relaxation in just this focusing on the mind and on the sounds of nature around here. You can hear the evening calls of birds and the gentle wind blowing through these, you know, tranquil mountains. The sound of the
I was more
waterfall.
referencing the impish, childish, annoying of this monk.
That's okay.
But yeah, I mean, the
I'm
nature.
talking to Gerald. Yeah, you do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
Wow. If there was ever any foreshadowing for TPK, that was it.
All of a sudden, you set off a trap. It was
What?
Zuko's trap.
Oh no. Do we get annihilated?
No.
while
In the
doing
last
yoga?
game on Saturday yesterday, me and my party, we went into like my shit got stolen, like with all our like this special map and like this magic cube. These kobolds took it into their cave, and so we followed them in, and we set off like 50 traps and took like 30 damage from these level 1 kobolds, like for every trap. It was a good time. Anyway,
Kobolds are good thing when they give the time.
so eventually, yeah. Is there anything you guys would like to do during this, like, you know, 45 minutes of meditation?
I don't think that there's anything Jadir wants to do. Subconsciously, he starts scheming on how to undo Zagur and ruin his life. That wasn't really on the table, but like it sort of snuck in there.
Yeah. I think Gerald is just trying to find out what the fuck to do now, honestly.
All right. Well, while you're pondering what the fuck to do, everyone's meditating, and eventually, this time of meditation comes to an end. And Jugo stands up, and as he does, all of his students stand up. Do you stand up?
I mean, there's a moment of hesitation, like, oh, it's over. Yeah, yes.
All right.
Yeah, same. It's like super delayed.
You guys stand up after everyone else. And Jugo is like, now, evening combat. And,
Wait, what?
And he's like, Takashi, come here. And he's like, today's lesson is about precision. And Jugo goes on, he's like, when you strike, you will strike with precision. Draw from your anchor. Let the energy of the world flow through you like air. We do not hold our breaths for fear of suffocation without our next breath. Neither should you try to trap the world's energy within yourself. Simply let it flow through you like breath. Be patient. Wait for your foe to reveal an opening. And Jugo patiently watches his sparring partner until Takashi moves in for a downward strike. Jugo like parries like the strike and turns, delivering a single punch to the man's abdomen. And as he does so, his fist glows with like this brilliant like white light, stopping, and he stops the motion like centimeters away from impact. He's like, "Thank you, Takashi. That is all." Now, I think we will split off into pairs and practice this drill.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
He begins pairing people up.
Wait, we don't get to choose?
Nope. Though
Oh, no.
he kind of looks at you, you two. He's like, I think it would be best if I split the two of you up. If this is something you would like to learn, I understand if this is beyond your comfort level at the moment.
Wow. I'm always open to new experiences.
We're not going to get killed, are we?
No, certainly not.
I wasn't really planning on murdering my friend.
Oh, you guys must
no.
be fighting.
He said he would split us up, so we're gonna fight the monks. There comes the oh great, oh no.
Right. Yes.
Why don't I
Absolutely.
pair the two of you up with Takashi and Sayo? And he introduces you to two monks who bow to you, and Jugo begins walking you through a training regimen, teaching the two of you just kind of the general forms of like how to strike and be patient and wait for the enemy. Why don't the two of you guys roll me a general dexterity check to see how you perform during this lesson.
Great. 15.
15.
Well, let's try my dex then. I'll get a 12.
12. All right. So, Gerald, he does solidly. I mean, obviously, this is your first time. Everyone's going easy on you. But, Gerald, you feel like pretty confident. You're getting like towards the beginning of like that Dunning-Kruger effect curve, where the monk's coming at you, and Jugo's teaching you how to parry and then strike. And you get it a couple times, and you feel like, damn, I'm pretty good at this. Jadir, you're not quite there, but you feel like, if you gave this a solid couple months of practice, you could.
I think what happens is Jadir, assumes the parrying stance and whatnot. And the moment the monk goes to try to strike at him, he turns away in panic and casts shield. Like, shield.
Yes, and the monk kind of like stops as like his karate chop comes into contact with the shield, and then he takes it off, kind of like rubbing his hand a little bit. He's like, and the monk says to you, "Try not to do that."
Okay. Right. I was just
I
trying to
admired
protect
your
myself.
arcane talents. This is not the place for that.
I didn't mean to.
Okay. No worries. Let us try once more. And he goes to strike at you again.
I think Jadir flinches again, but this time doesn't conjure shield. It's like
He
hopeless.
He stops like right in front of your neck. And he's like, "You must be brave here. Face your enemy with courage." Anyway, this goes on for a little while.
What am I? Am I just?
So, yeah, but I don't know. How are you doing, Gerald? On 15, you're feeling pretty confident. I'm
On a
thinking.
15? I think the only reason why he's doing okay is because he's like talking while he's fighting. So it's like really distracting the other monkey. He's like,
I was in the circus.
yes.
Let me tell you about these clowns.
Yeah, it's literally the clown topic. He's like, let me tell you about the clowns.
And it's like, quiet. You must focus on your training.
I am extremely focused.
You like your focused face, but your lips are like quivering with the need to talk. Oh, but what this one time at band camp?
Just a really annoyed monk, and even more annoyed that I'm actually doing okay.
So eventually, after about half an hour, Jugo comes in and is like, I think that is enough for tonight. You both did wonderfully. I hope to see you back here in the morning.
Right.
And
Well, it was good fun. Thank you.
they bow, and the monks begin dispersing for the evening.
I suppose we would take our leave.
All right, so you guys are going back to your little place, your room.
All right, that was useless.
It was fun though, in a weird way. I'd never thought I could actually piss off a monk.
Really, I think that you would achieve that immensely easily. You have a knack for things like that.
Savage.
No, I meant it as a compliment.
Well, you know what? I won't deny it.
It's like a shared chuckle. So what next? Stay the night? Head on out? Have you decided what you want to do? The way I see it, the library that you visited, well, you told me about the void cores, told me about Yarden and the tree. It seems to have an obvious connection. We have no idea what we're up against.
Well, that would be one way to do it. It's a hell of a long journey, and plus, I don't think I'm very much welcomed there.
It's fine. We can disguise you as something entirely different. Or just walk invisible. And from your conversation, it sounded like these were some primitives. Savages, really.
Low, but alright.
Well, they live in huts.
What's wrong with huts? I mean, what?
Well, a lack of any kind of amenities. I, for one, prefer flooring. Furniture.
Yes, I understand that. Do you think that if we go there, that the second time that I'm there, that something will happen? Or perhaps something you see that I won't see?
Well, from what I understand, you didn't spend time scouring this place. And if everything comes up empty, we can always hop open the gates of hell, travel there, and beseech our new master to guide us back to Bajoki. We barely have the time for the trip and some digging. If we learn something useful, something actionable, then we may not have to do that. But whatever this tree is, I don't understand it.
Neither do I. All I know, it's very important.
Well, let's not make decisions tonight then. Let's legend lore in the morning and make our decision afterwards.
All right. Well then. So, are we going to be like roomies, or are we actually, moving the beds? Because I don't know about you, but this whole culture with putting the beds right next to each other is a bit uncomfortable to me.
Oh?
You hear the
To do your
voice of God
scoots up.
cry out, "Gay!"
Well, I miss pie. It's been too long.
Do you think they have the safe word pie?
That's a terrible safe word.
It is. Oh my lord. What have we devolved into? I am half sick. I have no idea what we're doing. You're thinking about pies. David is having a sexual fantasy in his mind right now.
All right.
It's not the
Yeah.
first time this has happened.
I know. In the last 24 hours. I suppose we turn in for the night and prepare to legend lore in the morning.
All right. You too, Gerald?
Yep.
All right, you guys head off to bed,
Oh,
going
thank
to
God.
sleep on your mats. You awake to the sound of birds and winds through the mountaintops. Sunlight is gently sifting through the paper doors, giving like a very nice, shiny sun ambience to the room.
I'm trying to
Both
think.
slept marvelously. It's your first night here in the material realm, and it really makes a difference. You're not all cramped up in a tiny hut with fire.
It is.
Stone.
It is nice. The thought of burning this place down is both exciting and sad.
You know, a part of me misses the screams.
I think there's something wrong with you.
Stockholm syndrome.
I don't know, we've been there for so long that the screams started feeling normal. Now it feels abnormal sleeping without them.
Oh, just think of the birds as tortured souls.
He stops for a moment, thinks.
So you fade to like the sparkle effect is the world shimmers and Gerald in his mind the birds are singing and in Gerald's mind it's just ah!
And he opens his eyes and not really the same effect, I'm sorry. Yeah. I miss Jeffrey. He had the best scream. I can almost hear him. It's almost like he's here with us at this very moment. A monk falls down. Makes the exact same scream. Ah! Jeffrey?
Jeffrey falls off the waterfall.
Just pruning
It's
some bushes in the
you
distance.
go, Jeffrey, not again!
Jeffrey, the man who escaped hell.
All right, so what do you
I
think?
suppose there's nothing else to it. Let's burn some incense sticks, I guess.
Yeah. Time to legend lore.
We're still sticking with Void Core, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with that
All
one.
right. You begin casting the spell as a ritual, absorbing those ivory fragments, weaving the spell as you do. You feel that energy moving around you, and once again, you feel this pull with the mask, a familiar arcane connection. Do you choose to embrace this connection?
It used up parts of the mask last time I did it, right?
Last time you did it, yes.
Then no, I will not
Okay.
do it.
All right. So you, instead of grabbing that pull from the mask, you resist that urge and sweep up the ivory strips that you've collected with your companion here. As you weave the spell around, and then you feel that essence kind of pulling out and in from your fingers, up through your arms, and now you're absorbing the magic around you straight into your mind. And you feel a general answer to this question. The legend lore of Void Core. One of 6 continental cores.
Hearts of colossi. Cores are progenitors and governors of reality. Elemental fonts. Void, earth, rain, light, ice, and blood. Void is all that matter is not. Without void, there is no in-between, and all worlds would be one. It was once drifting through the infinite beyond, but no longer.
All right,
I'll paste this in
yeah,
chat as well.
I make sure to rephrase phrase this all to him as it goes.
You see Gerald like just kind of like saying this to you like he's some sort of oracle as he's in like this trance.
That never really gets old.
He kind of blinks out of it. What do you mean?
You remember that seer, the dragonborn lady?
Oh, yes, I do remember her.
Yeah, when you do that, yeah, you sound like her. The whole vibe is different.
Would you say it's intimidating, just like with the Dragonborn lady?
A little, but I don't know. You seem oddly respectable.
Well, you know what? I'll take what I can get.
You once felt very awkward, Gerald, in the presence of all that mysticism and kooky, mysterious words, and now you're beginning to understand it a little bit more.
Oh no. I'm becoming the mystic. No! I just pull out cards. I will tell your future. No. So, yeah, that... Honestly, that doesn't tell us much, does it?
Well, it does. It tells us that the Void Core manipulates barriers. If there is no in-between, then all things are one without it. And then perhaps there is a barrier of some kind that keeps Yarden sealed away, and that's why the core is needed. Does that sound weird?
No, it seems to connect in a strange way. My thought in this is, if it's a heart of a colossi, and you had the void one, the fragment of the void one, that means the Plagueist is a colossus of the void. Does that make sense?
It's a really strange and scary thought.
How powerful do you think one of these colossuses are?
I really have no frame of reference for this. It seems far beyond me.
Well, it did destroy an entire temple by itself. A storm one, at that.
When you were eavesdropping on Zagur, did you mention that he needed the Void Core or he needed a core?
DM, which one was it?
A core.
A core.
Acorn. He needs an acorn. With this acorn, I can rule the galaxy.
Good God. I suppose then any core would do, or perhaps he needs the Earth core. That one's linked to Yaradin somehow, I think. I have no idea what this means.
Do we want to try to have a little chat with the penguinist? Or the penguinist?
Even less so now than before. If what you're saying is true, then that's a very scary proposition.
Well, he wasn't super aggressive right away.
All right, but think of it this way: if the Plavinguinus wants to go home, and its home was drifting through a void or whatever, and without that thing, there was nothing. Then, if the Plavinguinus gets its way, and it is one of these titans, then everything ceases to exist?
The question is it like a guardian, or does it want to out?
I don't know. That's why we need to find out.
I do have sending. Do you want to quiz the penguinist himself?
No, no. No. We know of this library. I'm more keen on visiting it now than ever before. Or we could just burn this place down and get your girl and be done with it.
First of all, even if I wanted to do that, how the hell would we do that?
Wood burns?
Alright, so we seem to
Look,
have...
how hard is it to go find lots and lots of gunpowder, stuff it in a bag of holding, get up, busy with swimming across the lake, indivisible if we must, or fly there, and pull it out, and blow it up?
We really do not have a lot of options here.
You have
we have
so
plenty of
many
options.
options. You have
Yeah,
more
but-
options than you've ever had in the entire campaign.
See, here's the problem though. We don't know which option will actually do something.
Almost like real life.
Well, in real life, you can...
You need to flip a coin. Leave it to fate. Personally, I think that would be cowardly.
Personally, I want to speak to the penguinist.
All right, that's your call.
Do you think that's a horrible idea?
Yes, which is why I will need to do preparations.
My main thought is it takes the least amount of time to be like, yo, what's up? And if that shows no fruition, we can go to the tower.
Here's the thing. We can still chat with the Plavinguinus once we're at the tower.
Wait, so you'd rather do it in the tower than here?
Once we have more knowledge, if the library proves to be a dead end, yes.
Alright, you know what? Let's go to the tower.
Good. Nothing with that much teeth is good.
Alright. So, do we just head off, or?
Um, one sec. Now Jadir disappears into the bag of holding. For the first time in a decent while, I'm going to take a look around and see what are food storages looking like. Like, I think there's only one thing that I've kept organized down there, and
You guys are definitely running a little bit low on food. You maybe have another like 3 or 4 days left of rations. You know, Franchester packed a lot of, the other Franchester packed, or the good Franchester, the not insane Franchester, who, is a car camping prepper, probably packed 2 or 3 months of food worth for, a 2-week trip to Cassia. But it's been a long time since you guys have been in Cassia, and, you've been taking this supply of infinite food for granted, which you're going to need to pick up some more.
well, we're sort of running low on food.
And running low on gold.
That's never really been a problem.
It is a bit of a problem because I don't think our, whole usual plan of gaining money will work here.
It won't. I mean, I could simply assume Francester's form, walk up into the kitchens, charm the gentleman in charge, and pack our reserves.
That's one way of doing
No,
it, I guess.
who on the nose? All right. Look,
Okay.
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We
All
can
right.
stop by Illibert.
You can't stop by Illibert. That is way too far out of your way.
Drawing a direct line from here to Granite Isle, it'll take you a week and a half, maybe a little bit longer, if you keep a fast pace and nothing bad happens.
Oh, let me look at the map once again. Oh, it's north, properly north.
Yeah.
I suppose we have to get to Shivari.
If you go to Shivari, that will take you too long. Like you're gonna either have to drawing you would know. I mean, you've been in the Illibert area, and you've traveled around that general vicinity, and so you kind of get a sense of scale here. There is no way. The only way you're going to be able to make it to Granite Isle within such a short time period. I mean, there's a little bit of flexibility depending on how much risk you want to take on. If you think you could go a direction significantly faster than you otherwise would be able to normally. But just basically drawing a direct straight line from here to there is going to take you a little over a week and a half. So there's not a lot of room for flexibility in terms of your travel path.
Where would we cross the mountains then?
That's a really good question.
I don't like that ominous. It'll be fine. I suppose we'll head due north then.
All right.
What's the worst thing that can happen, right?
That's also a
Eternal
good question.
Eternal dread screaming at me right now.
No, that's just echoes of your past. Snap out of it.
Oh, I see. How could I be so foolish? I do have Dimension Door. I don't know if that's going to help us much.
Don't think that'll help us cross mountains.
It might help you cross mountains if you get to a tricky spot.
Yeah.
Who knows how technical this could be.
Entire mountains.
Good thing you
Fucking-
guys are expert climbers.
Wait, quick question. With Dimension Door, could you technically Dimension Door, like if you're out of action, then Dimension Door bottom, but make it go 500 feet that way, so you could just line up Dimension Door, so you're like...
Yeah. If you can chain dimension doors.
So technically, by that logic, if I'm fully rested, we can travel about 2,000 feet.
How dimension door is 300 feet? 100 feet?
No, 500 feet.
Really?
range.
500?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you can chain dimension door and travel, use all of your third level spell slots to travel a certain number of distance. Hey, that'll maybe take you, to 1.5% of the way there.
Now I was more thinking on the mountain, like instead of climbing up and down, we just...
Yeah, that's a good strategy. We'll see how it plays out.
It might be very painful on the landing part, though, if momentum is
You
a
can
thing
also
in this.
fly for 10 minutes once a day.
Actually, no, remember.
Teleportation does momentum is gonna be conserved. So like if you're falling, like you can't cast Dimension Door to save yourself from fall damage because momentum from that fall is gonna be conserved. But in the same way, if you're standing on top of like a ledge, you can teleport to another ledge, and you're not gonna have like any momentum shoving you in any direction because you weren't moving when you cast Dimension Door. So 0 momentum is conserved.
Yeah. My main thought is just... Also, we can't fly because... Unless you have fly. Do you have fly?
You have an instrument of the bards.
No, you gambled that
Oh.
away.
Remember?
The devils have it.
Yeah.
One happy little devil is, playing a little tune to himself in a Briamok, showing it to his friends. He won it from some stupid human in a bet that he met at a party.
What a jackass. Yeah. I suppose.
Dude, fly would be so good here. You could circumvent the entire challenge. Now you're gonna have to do it the hard way. Damn, if only you had picked the right option.
If there are any rodents of unusual size around, I'll level up. Yeah, okay. Well, we seriously need food. So first things first. Where do they feed people in this place?
That's also a good question. For the sake of time, I'm not going to make you guys hunt for food from the monks. They will give it to you freely.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I was going there with the plan of using suggestion on them and robbing them blind.
No, you could just ask them.
The thought never occurred to me.
They're monks. Peace and kindness are in their nature. It's one of Zhugo's teachings is to give to those in need. Something you two excel at.
Feeling guilty, Jadir offers a bottle of wine in return.
The monks inform you that they don't drink.
Or for me.
But they all wish you good luck and safe travels. And Zhugo makes sure to let you know that you don't need to be here at the monastery at Bajoki to search for inner peace, and that it is something that you can find along the road as well.
I feel like he is trying to convert us into monks.
I know.
Gee whiz.
Oh, man. Like, after half the journey, we both take a level in monk.
Yeah, you guys could absolutely take levels in monks if you stay here for a little while.
No, thank you.
Or maybe like free fighter feats.
He really is tempting us.
Look, if I wanted power, I'd just sell my soul, okay?
Right, so are you guys departing Bajoki?
Yeah, I suppose we would head due north. it's good that we have fancy compasses still? Question mark.
We have one, yeah.
Do you guys have well, the monks are you telling the monks where you're going?
Nah.
Yeah, didn't think so.
Consequences be damned, right? What's
Yeah.
the worst thing that can happen? We can always escape to hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I do have a map and a compass.
That's great. That'll be helpful. And maybe I'll give you a +1 on your survival checks.
Woo! Because my survival is so high.
You guys are gonna do great.
This is gonna be the Puma incident.
Are you
all
guys
over
ready
again.
for your point crawl?
Oh no. Then this is gonna be a
I will.
Puma.
I will. Yeah, they're gonna depart, I suppose.
All right. The time to leave has come. Jugo wishes you goodbye. The monk you annoyed does not wish you goodbye. And you guys head out down the mountain through the forest of these giant bonsai trees and cherry blossoms. Feel that warm breeze, and as you get closer and closer to the bottom, the trees turn into that birch forest again. And as you walk through the birch forest, it begins to thin out a little bit. Walking through the forest is smoother than you expected. The foliage density is low enough that progress can be made without bushwhacking. Birch trees wane, and winding oaks and swamp trees begin to replace them as you go. You guys are traveling, and eventually you're going to have to take a day of rest as you spend the first day traveling through the forest, making your way north. Is there anything you guys want to do during this day, though?
Yeah. I suppose we will need better clothing. I mean, can't really use suits, so I probably will use creation to get us clothing that's better equipped for the journey.
Awesome. What are you creating? What kind of clothes?
What is the weather like?
Well, right now the weather is relatively temperate. It's getting a little bit colder as you go further north, but nothing very noticeable right now. Obviously, you're aware that you will have to cross these mountains, and from what you've been told, they can get very cold up there. Some of the coldest weather in the world, or in the continent, is in the Kuratov mountain range.
Oh, that'll be no problem at all. So essentially multi-layered clothing, I guess. It'll fall apart after, a day, so I'll have to recast it every day, but I can tailor it based off the climate and whatnot.
Sounds good. So is that what you're doing, I guess, as you guys are setting up camp? Or
Yeah, just making sure that we have clothing that's somewhat more suitable to what we're planning on doing.
Are you guys taking watch? How are you going to handle sleep?
Fuck taking watch. We have tiny hut.
Yeah, you guys have tiny hut. You guys are fine.
We could technically, until we get to the mountain, we could take one exhaustion and sleep every other day.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Mechanically, according to the rules, you're allowed to do that. But I would say doing that over an extended period of travel, I would definitely start to impose penalties on you for that.
Yeah, but I'm talking like doing it once or twice just to shave a bit of that time that we're gonna take.
You can.
I suppose we can do that for the first day and whatnot to hurry along.
So you guys are traveling through the night? You're not resting?
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
be fine.
Okay. So you guys continue your trek on through the night. Walking through the forest, The trees begin, like as the sun goes down, the trees are beginning to become covered in moss, and trunks are kind of widening the further you go. The ambience of these birds mixes with the crunching of leaves and sticks under your boots, and the occasional rustling of bushes nearby. So you guys are walking through the forest, right? It's the middle of the night. You guys are starting to feel like that sleep coming. But you made the decision to push on. You're going through. And you begin to feel like the trees around you are kind of like creaking, and you can feel the bushes moving around you. And you keep looking over your shoulder, like you hear like things crunching. And in the forest here at night, these moss-covered, swampy trees as you're heading north, it makes you a little bit on edge. It's making you guys a little bit anxious. And what are your passive perceptions? Or you can
Implying
roll
I have any.
or you can roll active perception if you guys are.
My
I'll
passive
take
is
my
12.
10 passive.
Mine is 12. Though I'm gonna roll. If that's fine.
Yeah. Is Gerald on guard right now, or is he casually strolling?
I would say on guard because there's a lot of creatures that hunt during the night, right?
That's very true.
Alright.
Owl bears.
Oh, bears.
I mean, for ignites, we'll be fine.
Yeah, no, 9.
I can see so far in the dark. The dark doesn't scare me, please.
9. I see nothing.
9. Okay. So, you guys are kind of strolling through, looking over your shoulders. You're so busy watching the area around you. Gerald, does a 18 hit your AC?
Yes, it does.
All right. As this root begins to wrap around your boot, and you suddenly look down, and you can see these like tiny little tree creatures, these plants that resemble a woody shrub that can like pull its roots free of the ground. It's like kind of like walking and twisting like a humanoid-looking body with like head and limbs. Like you begin to have this thing wrap around your foot, squeezing you. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you feel like your calves are being like stretched, like you're getting ready for a tourniquet. Roll initiative, you two.
12.
I'll get an 18.
18. All right, so you two turn around, and you can see there are 5 of these little twig creatures, these humanoids made out of sticks, that are coming in to attack you. One of them's reached around and wrapped its roots around Gerald's calf here. But Jadir, you notice this, and you can react to them before the other these stick creatures can make a further jump on you.
All right, I'll upcast Mel's minute meteors and send one. It shoots 8 spiraling meteors over my head.
Okay, great.
And yeah, and then I can throw them at these creatures, and then they'll explode.
All right. So is that a reflex? Sorry, not reflex. God, you've conditioned me. Dexterity save?
They'll have to make dexterity saving throws within 5 feet of the meteor.
Within 5 feet of the like if they're within 5 feet of the meteor?
Each creature within 5 feet of the point where the meteor explodes must make a dexterity saving throw.
All right, so I'll just make them for each one. Actually, these creatures have so few hit points. What's the average amount of damage that each meteor is going to do? Roll damage first.
Roll damage. The average is like 6 or 7, 6.5. I rolled an 8.
8? Okay. So if each meteor does 8 damage, even if they all succeed, they just begin erupting into flame as you turn around instinctively, launching these like 5 meteors, shrapnel blasts.
Technically, I can only launch one per turn. This loss is a bonus action.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oops.
but
Okay.
there's 8 of them. Yeah.
Okay. So how many? You can launch one.
Yeah, I'll launch just one.
Okay,
It'll
so-
explode in a minor area.
Okay, so it's gonna hit like 2 of them. They immediately burst into fire. They try to like very slowly crawl out of the way, but these creatures are far too slow. And from behind, they just get incinerated and burn up. This flickering light now dancing through the forest at night, providing further light to see these creatures that are moving in on you. The remaining 3, 2 of them, the one that was attacking you, Gerald, is going to continue, but the other 2 are coming at you, Jadir. The one attacking you, Gerald, rolls a 5 to hit, and the 2 coming at you, one of them rolls a 20 to hit, and one of them rolls a 10 to hit you, Jadir.
I suppose I get hit by 1.
It kind of rolling on these roots. It comes close and begins like just slowly slashing at you. Just
See, there's
mindlessly
nothing to be afraid of.
clawing at your legs. You take 4 points of piercing damage from the claws. Gerald, it's your go.
So there's one grabbing me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not much else to do but to stab it.
Call its mother fat.
I'd probably kill it.
23.
23 hits.
Alright. It takes 11 points of damage from the rapier.
You nearly kill it as you just slice your rapier down. It just pierces into the twig, and you can see like this gentle like stream of like yellow bile kind of pouring out of it as it like just continues just mindlessly like trying to squeeze your leg apart. Jadir.
I'll send another meteor at them. Whoever's closest to me, I guess.
You can hit the one attacking Gerald, or you can hit 2 of them attacking you.
I suppose I'll hit 2 of them instead.
All right. They both fail their dex saves.
I'm going to pelt them for a measly 4 fire damage.
4
my bonus
fire
action.
damage.
Yeah, and then for my main action, I'll toss a firebolt at the one on top of Gerald and get a
Alright.
25 to hit.
That hits you. You throw your first meteor down with a splash of fire, like kind of burning up the thighs and legs of these creatures, which are just set ablaze. They don't just continue mindlessly clawing at you. But then you turn around and launch this fire blast towards the one at Jadir, which just blows its head off, and the twig just kind of melts into ash, blowing away in the wind. The 2 are going to continue clawing at you. Both of them missing. Gerald, it's your turn.
I turned around and stabbed the ones attacking him.
Okay,
Will
go
you
for it.
stop already?
They're
What?
Just like minorly annoyed by these plants.
Yeah, it kind of is. I missed though. I got a nat 1.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Jadir.
I'm going to just explode on these with another meteor. I mean, I could do this all day.
Yeah, and at this point they're so low, and they're vulnerable to fire damage that with just you just lazily toss this like 3rd meteor down at them, and they just like disintegrate into ash, and you have like these piles of like ash and dust and burnt twigs around you as the fires dim, and you're left back in the night of the woods.
Does he do
I
it
still
like
have 5 of these meteors floating above my head for the next 10 minutes. So
It
so-
creates like a nice like campfire ambience as you are standing here in the night forest.
Did he drop the meteor like dropping the mic? Just.
Just
That's how he kills him. Just.
I don't think Jadir's that cool. Sorry.
Ah.
Yeah, combat's not his forte. I mean, he can burn things.
It's neither of our fortes.
If I see more of these things, even not aggressive, I'll just chuck meteors at them as we pass through the night.
genocide.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Only you can make sure there are forest fires.
The good thing is that it's fall right now, so the forest is relatively not dry and easily flammable.
Oh, there's like not a canopy of fallen leaves that'll just ignite.
Not in this area.
Turns out we burnt down Bajo Key after all.
Yeah. Just the fire slowly starts moving up the hill. That would be one hell of an awesome railroad. I wouldn't even feel bad about doing that.
Wait, are we doing that? Wait, what?
No, you don't burn down Bajo Key because you attacked a Choig Blight.
That's why I was like, wait, what? What?
It's
Because
the
it's
butterfly effect.
It is just the fact that Jadir has caused so much damage with his fireball and fire that I just automatically assume, oh, he did fiery thing. We're all going to die.
When have I ever done any kind of damage?
We are
I
not
feel
going
like-
to answer that question.
Yeah, no, we're not. It's... But yeah.
Alright, you continue walking on through the night, and eventually day comes, and you continue your trek. You spend the next day continuing your travel through the woods, heading north. As the further north you go, you can feel it's getting like ever so slightly colder. The trees are getting a little bit less dense. I assume there's nothing new that you guys are doing today as you're marching, or...
So, here's a
No.
question. Creation technically allows me to create, like, precious materials.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get to, like, is it okay if we cheese Legend Lore's gold cost with it? Yeah.
You can cheese Legend Lore.
All
Would you
right.
like to
But,
Legend
what
Lore?
I think that there's, like, good excuses for us to Legend Lore stuff.
Plus, we have a long trip. I feel like this is going to be the lore episode. We're just going to legend lore like 7 times.
You have no idea.
All right, fine.
Just
He's challenging
Legend
us.
Lore. There's so many things.
What would you like to
Yeah.
Legend Lore?
The world. Not...
Zawarudo!
Tell me everything.
Do you have a preference? I chose the last one.
We never did the Flamingonist, didn't we?
No.
Okay. I would like to legend lore that because... Yeah.
Alright.
Then I'm pretty much always going to be down to a very, very high spells cost. But yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
No, it's just if that is our plan B or C or whatever, if everything else fails, it's at least good to know what it might do.
Actually, let me Google this. This is probably an important thing to Google. Can you use... Yes. Okay.
I'm confused. What is going on?
Oh wait, hold on. Creation says, using any material created by this spell as another spell's material component causes that spell to fail.
Oh, okay. So we can't let
Okay, fair enough. Can't do it.
Sorry.
I didn't even read the spell properly.
Well, that's fair.
Well, we still have
You
we
can't.
bought like a.
I believe you
How
have.
many sticks that we had? Because we bought 4, I believe.
If you bought 4 ivory strips, you still have 2 remaining. You
Well,
still
we
Yeah.
should have 3 because we used the mask on 1.
Doesn't
I'm gonna-
Legend Lore use 2 strips?
No, it doesn't use any strips. The strips are a permanent thing. I'll read. Incense worth of at least 250 gold pieces, which the spell consumes, and 4 ivory strips worth at least 50 gold piece each. It's just the incense that they use up.
I'm pretty sure that would imply. God, I don't know
Here.
how that reads. Does it?
There, see, I sent it.
Well, I'm
I did-
reading. I'm reading the spell right now. Would the spell not consume the ivory strips?
No,
I
otherwise.
guess
it would-
not.
Do spells not? Are there spells where you use material components, but the material components aren't consumed?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh. Well, as you can tell, I probably haven't played a lot of casters. So-
How could you?
All right.
We're making you play wizard next time.
Do you have any more incense worth 250 gold?
I don't think so. It's
I
just the
don't think
one thing that we did.
Yeah. So, yeah, sadly, nothing. We cannot legend lore. Actually, quick question. The monks would have. No, they wouldn't be willing to give 250 gold pieces a lot, so.
You could go back and ask them. It would only lose you guys
Waste
like 3 days.
2 days there and 2 days back. All right, no legend lord.
No legend lore.
Sorry about that.
Fine, I
No.
can become a druid and grow incense. How do you make incense? I'm sure we'll figure it out in a day or two.
Maybe you guys.
How
will find
hard can it
some.
be?
Yeah, how hard can it be? All right, so you guys continue walking through this day, and you begin to approach what you suspect to be near the edge of the Blight Woods. The sun is setting now, and the faint light of day that comes through the canopy is now fading. But the forest is thinning, and you feel a bone-chilling wind sweep, cutting through the air. A few hundred feet off, you see a flickering orange light dancing amidst the trees.
What do you suppose that is? And we've lost that. Ah, not the lights.
Classic. Classic.
Oh
man.
no. He has been having problems with Discord.
I think he went to go get dinner with his friends.
Just drops immediately.
Yeah. Hey!
There we go. Just-
Welcome back.
That was out of nowhere.
Okay.
All right.
Orange. That's about it.
Okay, so you guys are basically you're walking through towards the edge of the Blade Woods here. The trees are thinning out. The sun is setting, kind of like trickling down through the canopy, and the forest is thinning, and you feel like this bone-chilling wind sweeping through the air. And yeah, so about 100 feet off, Gerald, you see like this flickering orange light dancing among the trees.
Well, in the worst case, we can check it out. In the worst case, we just have to run away.
Let's go say hi.
All right.
You approach what this clearing, and coming through the clearing, you find a small encampment
with 2 canvas tents. As you're about to break through that, the bushes, you hear a voice. You think you recognize it. He's like, "Did you hear that?"
Hello? Is anybody there?
You say hello, and he's like you hear another voice. "Just an animal. Them blights don't come out this far. Too cold out here towards the edge." You say
Oh,
hello,
no.
and you step out, and you see 2 men sitting on logs next to a small campfire. They're bundled in fur coats and wear thick leather boots. Their hoods are up, but as they turn to look up at you, you see the disheveled, ungroomed face of Sir Francis. No longer does his mustache curl and his eyes gleam with narcissism, but he has like a short, unkempt beard now, filled with little bits of dirt. His eyes have bags under them, and a weariness you would have never imagined lines his expressions. The other man is similarly traveled, but clearly of non-noble origin. He has slightly darker skin complexion and 2 missing teeth, but he carries a bow on his back. Sir Francis's eyes go wide as he sees the 2 of you emerge. "Floating butterfly?"
Well, this is an interesting situation.
"Why are you following me?"
We're not following you. We're just passing
Why are
by.
you following us?
"Why are you following me?" Oh, I'm sorry.
It kind of looks. Why? Who is following what? Why?
I can't believe that we would just run into each other like this.
It must be the gods. Fate has brought us together. There's a quest we must embark on.
I am so tempted to be like. Anyway, see ya.
So, a quest?
We
What
must
you
find
talking
passage to the north.
Where are you going?
A tower looms in the north, on a forsaken island.
You're talking very strangely, Mr. Manager.
Don't mind him. Anyways, what have you
Is
been
he
up to?
okay?
Harold saw this in a vision, I assure you. He
He's like
has been brought to oracular visions as of late.
the shaggy guy with the bow on his back looks at you, Gerald. Like, is your companion ill?
Do I look like I am kidding?
He spent too much time with the monks.
With the monks? I don't like them monks.
He's just trying to pass this off. I tell you, he's embarrassed of his oracular capabilities. This tower exists and is important beyond all belief.
Sir Francis
We
kind
must
of
journey
turns
to
to
it.
Gerald, ignoring the crazy manager. He says, I'm sorry you have to see me like this. It's been a hard month.
You can't. Like, what's been going on? How come you're in this state?
Scratches the back of his head. I left Barad Baisa after the uprising, when I saw my daughter Rosemary had always hated her life. The last thing she said to me was, "Things are going to change around here, Dad." When I went missing during the when she went missing during the riots, I panicked and looked under every stone, asked everyone I knew where she went. I heard word was that she was leaving to join the sacrosancted Illibert. My wife left me after Rosemary fled, and the nobility became peasants. So I left the city, and everything I knew, to go find her.
Out of character.
Well, that's
Ooh.
tragic. At least you have your life.
These travels have shown me much. I never would have seen myself in a situation like this.
Well,
It's been humbling.
you know what they say. Struggling gives you personality.
That's what I told him.
Yeah, see? He kind of like pointed at him. Trust me, this is just the icing on the cake. Well, at least the snow is.
What's uniting the two of you then? Why are you traveling as compatriots then?
Oh, us? Well, I'm a vagabond at heart. Francis and I met out on the road. He was in rough condition, clearly had no idea what he was doing out in the wild. I had business I'd like to take care of in Illibird anyway, so we became travel companions. So who would have thought two companions could be so different? But the man's come around. And Sir Francis kind of like laughs a little bit to himself and smiles at his companion at that.
So
So you're aware of how fabulously wealthy the man was then?
Ah, money don't mean nothing to me. We're all just people, you know?
Are you sure?
I haven't seen a copper piece in my life. Well, not exactly true, but I've never been a wealthy man.
But what if you were?
Ah, not the life for me. You can sit around in your mansion, you can have all the services you'd like, but it's nothing compared to traveling the world.
Imagine traveling and not having to worry about where you're going to eat.
It's not the same, though, is it?
I have no idea what you mean.
There's a
Low-key.
certain something in traveling poor, seeing the world as it really is. You're not looking through rose-tinted glasses.
I'm going to use Subtle Spell and cast Detect Thoughts on this vagabond.
That's what my pa always told me. Alright. Is that a wisdom save?
He'll have disadvantage on it.
Surface thoughts, or are you programmed?
Surface Thoughts, yeah, for
Okay.
now.
So there's no save for surface thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably like, you probably hear like a couple things off his mind, like, geez, these guys sure are weird, and I'm really hungry. Let me tell these guys my story. Simple thoughts. He's not
What
like
is
a
this
god
creature?
in disguise. Yeah,
The deer is so flabbergasted by this
you read
bum.
surface thoughts, and you're like, I am Bahamut. I am the god of all that is good and holy.
to be fair, meeting Bahamut would probably be the best case scenario. Like literally, hey, I am one of the nicest gods you'll find. Damn, cool.
No, this guy just appears to be a vagabond at peace with his life.
Well, what is
So-
the most valuable thing in your possession?
Me? Definitely
Yeah.
the
Kinda
clothes
look-
on my back. This jacket's done me more good than a house ever would.
Also, that is a very strange question to ask.
Ah, don't blame him. He's materialistic, I can tell. That's okay, Franchester's... not Franchester. That's okay, Sir Francis he's a very materialistic man, too. I respect all people.
Can we just take this guy
The way I
with us?
see it, it does some good. Jadir will sort of dive into the bag of holding.
Where'd he go? That's not how bags work.
It's a magical bag. Just give him a few seconds. He'll pop out.
Oh, what now?
Yeah.
It's a
You
magic
see
bag.
two horns emerge from the bag.
Ah,
He does
Still
this.
like
this
half in
bag
the
is
bag.
making me uncomfortable.
Trust me, he does this during the nights as well.
Why are you with this man? He's strange.
Producing several loaves of bread, dried ham, beans, and all manner of food items. And there's sherry, brandy, probably vodka, various liquors.
Wow, look at all that. Never mind, I like this bag.
Now, truth be told, I didn't pay for most of this.
That's fine by me. You know, things come, things go. nothing really belongs to anyone. We're all belonging to the same world, you know?
No, these very much belong to me. Would you like to have some?
I very much would, you kind fellow.
I don't.
Jadir will feed the hobo, and I guess Francis as well.
Francis thanks you, and the four of you share bread and brandy around the campfire.
I wasn't kidding. We're definitely heading up north to a tower.
Are you for real? I'd advise get it going out that way, he says, kind of like pointing behind his back out towards the mountains. It's called no man's land for a damn good reason.
We're sort of on a time crunch.
It's a pretty much a be damned if you do, be damned if you don't.
Well, if you're gonna be damned either way, why not don't?
Well, at least, you know,
Because we'll still be damned in that case.
and you know, best case scenario, if we succeed, well, they can't really call it no man's land anymore now, can they?
Well, it's not that nobody's ever gone out there, but, I mean, he leans forward. Nobody travels across the icy mudlands. Legend has it, there's a beast that roams the flat that lays claim to anything and everything that attempts to cross it. But, you know, I might just be a crazy old man.
Gerald says kind of jokingly, well, then we'll just have to claim the beast.
Yeah, yeah, you do that.
Oh, come on. It can't be everywhere at the same time.
It is an awfully big flat before you hit those mountains. But, I ain't taking no chances.
Yeah, all jokes aside, thank you for at least the warning.
Least I can do for two kind strangers sharing their food.
You wouldn't know
Francis,
anymore.
what is next to you?
What do you-
Next for you?
What's next for me? Well, I'll get to Illibert and I hope I'll find my daughter Rosemary. I'll talk to the sacrosanct and see where she is. If she wants to see me. I hear they're a fairly secretive guild, so if they say she's not here and she doesn't want to talk to me and she doesn't find me, then I'll assume that she just doesn't want to be a part of my life anymore. But after that, I think I might write a book about all of this. What it was like to be a noble, to have everything, and then to lose it all, and to trek all the way to the other side of the continent in search of my daughter.
You know, just saying, if you do want a peaceful life, I know that he kind of, like, gestures towards the other guy. I know the monk thing that isn't for you, but if you want a peaceful life once you're done for writing the book, you can always chill with the monks, I guess.
Sir Francis seems to consider this, kind of stroking his disheveled beard and like little bits of dirt flaking out of it as he does.
He kind of goes
blowing
like,
off in the wind.
it's very peaceful, though they do physical exercises during morning and evening, apparently. But other than that,
I've become no stranger to physical exercises. That's been one hell of a journey.
it is a very peaceful place.
Yes,
I'll think
but
about it.
no belongings.
Ah, yes. Well,
I do,
who knows?
I
Maybe
do
it's
think
time
they
for me to
would,
change for a new way of life. I don't know.
Plus, I do think they would allow you to write. Like, they have to write with something.
In some ways, I feel like I'm still figuring out who I am. After all these years, I'm almost 50 now.
Aren't we all?
I always thought that I belonged in nobility. I was better than everyone. I had all the money. I had all the power. But this new life has shown me a different side of that coin. And now I am uncertain about a lot of things.
Well,
The hobo is just
The
like
monk-
nodding in agreement.
the monks can help you in a way, and they're less likely to try to take. Well, it's pretty much impossible for them to be taking advantage of you, I think. They don't really seem to be the type. They will mostly just want you to join all the time.
Perhaps after I finish my book, I'll travel there. Maybe I'll take Rosemary with me. But
Food
maybe
for
she'll
thought.
have her own life in the sacrosanct.
Food for thought.
Are you guys
What
really
about you?
traveling north?
Oh, yes. Like I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I doubt our paths will cross again then. From what Kirk has told me, the northern lands are very dangerous.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
You're a musician. Have some respect.
Well, like you said, even now I don't really know who I am and what I want to do. I'm a musician, but I'm still adventuring. I know I could be at a fancy little place somewhere playing music over and over again for the rest of my life. Probably a very comfortable life. But a bit sad, won't you say? I wouldn't
Sir
have all
Francis
the struggle.
shrugs.
gotta go.
Kirk leans in, is like, don't listen to Sir Francis here. You do what makes you happy. Even if it's difficult. And
Well,
everyone
think-
tells you not to do it. That's been my motto. That's what my pa told me.
It's a good motto to go by.
Do you do meditation by any chance?
Me? Nah.
Well, you sound a bit like the monks.
The monks are probably pretty wise. I mean, they live a life of few belongings, you know? Probably not all that different. We're all people after all. And they seem like the types of people who would recognize that, you know, the world is a place to be experienced, not to be bought.
Sorry, out of character. We're all people after all. It's been said so often. The name of this episode. We're all people after all.
I think Jadir just kind of gives up on this dude. You know, weird hobo set in his ways.
Out of curiosity, though, where do you come from?
Me?
Point. Yeah.
I was born in Novrin up north.
Wait. Where did he say?
Novrin. That's the town you're from?
Oh! That's what I was looking at. I couldn't find the map. There's an immediate, like, uh-oh.
Oh. Are the women there pretty?
I wouldn't know. Well, yeah, but there's
Nah,
pretty
don't be
women
shy.
everywhere. Yeah. I was a bit of a horn dog when I was a young boy, but
Tell me
know.
everything.
a man's business is his own, you know.
No, I insist.
You're being a
I will
weird.
subtle spell and cast suggestion on him.
Oh, jeez. Fucking pervert. All right,
my
so is that a wisdom save?
Calls out his hound as well. Even though it doesn't have it.
I don't have one.
Just imagining Ace coming out of the void. Tell me your tales of sex. No!
Ace is like, you know, fuck this shit.
It is a wisdom save.
Alright, well that's an 8. What's your suggestion?
I'm sort of trying to probe if he knows anything about Agatha.
Alright,
That's my intent. Not being a total horn
alright,
dog.
so you say that your suggestion is talk about Agatha, if you know her?
No, to indulge me in his exploits, I suppose.
All right. Well, he starts going off talking about some kinky things that he's done in bed, which makes you a little bit uncomfortable. And this was all back in his more youthful days, when he was a young boy. Probably some. This guy looks to be in his. I mean, he's clearly been traveling for a very long time, so it brings
I regret everything.
a greater age to his face than what would normally be considered. So he could be anywhere between like 30 and 50. It's pretty hard to tell.
What you're saying is this is the equivalent of casting Legend Lord. He has experience.
No, this is worse. There's more.
Dude, I'm not gonna roleplay a hobo telling you about how he has had sex and intimately
I don't want you to
and then
either.
I slowly walked my cock up to her face and I ejaculated all over that face. And then I said, "Turn around, honey."
You know.
And then I shoved that meat rod down her anus.
You know,
Right.
Like Sir Francis is just aghast at this behavior. He would have never, he's never seen this from his companion. He's like scooching a little bit further on the log, uncomfortably. And after the man is done talking, he's just sitting there like with his back very straight, kind of uncomfortable. He's like, "Excuse me, gentlemen. I think I'm gonna head to bed for the night. But you guys could continue your conversation. It was good to see you again. Have a good night." And Sir Francis quickly
swear I'm
stands
just
up
trying to probe.
and goes into his tent, closes the canvas door, and you hear like a thump and a
Excellent.
you know what? And you say I'm perverted, David. Like, holy shit, you two are
But he casted suggestion asking for details about sexual encounters.
You could have just said, "Oh,
sicko." No, I had to punish Jadir for this.
You punished me as well for it. I don't want to be caught in the fucking
You
process.
deserve to be punished just for choosing this man as your companion. You did this. You brought him to Brad Baisa.
Everything I do is on your shoulders.
I see.
After all, you
I'm
didn't
just the-
prevent me from doing anything.
And he doesn't even say anything about Agatha. Which is probably good, because if he had said all that while talking about Agatha, it might have gotten kind of ugly.
Okay, now after ignoring everything that has happened,
Gerald's just standing there like, la 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 la.
and it was ignoring all of that, do I recognize him since he's from the same place and he's around the age where...
Roll a history check.
Because Gerald would be fairly, accustomed to the people that were there. Whether he likes it or not. History, right?
Yeah.
19.
19. So while he's old enough that you definitely don't recognize his face as it's changed over time, you do have very faint memories when you were a young boy, maybe 7 or 8, and you were training to be a guard in your very, very early days. Maybe you went out there with your dad or something. Kirk was actually a guard at one point, and he, for maybe a couple weeks, helped you do some of your training. But that is the extent to interactions that you've had with this man.
Okay, so
He
does
clearly
not
doesn't
know.
remember you.
So the entire incident is not in his... So he wasn't there for it.
I mean, you could ask him.
I'm not going to ask.
You
That
could
is a hell
suggestion
no.
him.
No, I'm not like you sick fucko.
Don't judge me by my means. Judge me by my results. And we've learned so much. Oh God.
Even
So
judging
much.
by your result, you're a sicko. There is no redemption here. Oh my lord! If a paladin of redemption would meet Finn right now, he would smite him on the spot, not even give him a chance. He'd just nope.
Wait,
Beyond saving, smite.
it, 2 days ago, I professed that I'd be willing to burn down the eye of the world for the sake of your fling, and this is the evil thing that I'm doing now.
That's correct.
Okay, just wanted to get that clear. All right.
Not just as a player. I'm more judging you as a player, dude.
Oh!
Oh, okay. Finn is a terrible person. I will accept.
Like, what the hell? I'm also judging David.
Lots of judgment around.
A lot of judgment. I judge myself as well. We'd all be smitten by the redemption paladins. Oh,
Well, when you're walking towards certain death, you have to have fun with life.
like interrogating a hobo about his sex life.
All right, moving on.
When you put it that way,
We have a game to play. You guys have to go somewhere.
You know what? Here's a point. I'm gonna interrogate him as well. I cast suggestion.
oh, all right. I'm sorry.
I regret this.
Jadir will
NPC.
retire. That's the most productive thing.
Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with us?
All right, what are you doing, Gerald?
Well, since he doesn't seem to recognize me at all, I'm gonna keep fucking shut about that place as much as I can. And yeah, like, if there's nothing else, like probably like what I would ask. I'd just ask Jadir if he wants to travel again during the night or if he wants to rest this night.
You guys are exhausted.
I know. It's more in character than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would rest and whatnot.
Yeah.
Screw that.
You just collapse and go to bed.
Wait. Tiny hut.
No. In a tiny hut. I don't trust this hobo.
In a tough.
He doesn't trust you.
Why? I've been nothing but charming, if only incredibly weird. And
Creepy.
All right.
yes.
You guys go to bed. Let's take a 5-minute break, and in the morning we will pick up with you guys heading out across the icy mudlands.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So you guys you wake up in the light of the morning. It appears that Kirk and Sir Francis are still sleeping in their tents. Are you gonna head off without them? Or without saying goodbye? Or are you just...
Yeah, I don't want to face them anymore. In the morning, having cleared my mind, the booze is gone. I don't even want to look at them.
I leave them a note.
What does your note say?
Brave of you to assume this hobo reads.
That is so mean.
That is so mean. Fucking interrogates the hobo, then continues to insult the hobo while he's sleeping.
Look, I've read his thoughts. They're nothing special. All right?
Turns out to be a god later on in the session.
Yeah, he was just intentionally morphing his thoughts. Like, you really think a god couldn't do that, Finn? You're a buffoon. You've just incurred the wrath of Bahamut.
I mean, if that's what incurs it, so be it. I think I've done worse.
All right. Yeah, it's funny because you have.
Oh my god, wait, what?
Anyway.
The note just is like a symbol, like, best of luck on your travels. We had to go, we're in a hurry. And, yeah.
All right.
And thank you
Leave the
for the
note at
company.
camp.
Yeah. I pin it to their face. No, no.
And you guys are heading up north now, even further.
I am once again down some spell points. Make us some proper winter clothing.
Proper winter clothing.
Yeah.
You guys now have like some nice fur hoods with like wool jackets. You look like Eskimos. Really
What
badass
color?
Eskimos.
What color has yours been dyed?
Pink.
Just decided for Gerald.
What color would you like your Eskimo jacket?
Me, then. Or him.
You.
Oh,
Mine's emerald green. I mean, come on. What else could it be?
mine is gonna be quite classy. I'm gonna go for white, as in it was because it was.
I'm
used.
going to enjoy losing you in the snow.
Camouflage. Yeah. So you just okay. So Gerald immediately just walking a little bit ahead of you. He just completely blends into the horizon. It basically looks like he's just like a floating head right now.
But
You're floating.
What I will do though, because this is on my category of history now, as a player. What I'll do is I'll take the rope that we have and tie it between us, leaving 5 feet between.
Ooh, some classic crevasse safety.
And
I have message,
you
right?
guys,
I can
you,
just
you don't have
pew,
ice
pew, pew.
axes. So if basically how it's gonna work is if you fall into a crevasse when you're tied and you don't have an ice axe, you're both gonna die.
I know. I just misty step.
Yeah, except he doesn't Misty Step and now you fall down. You're like, oh,
No.
thank God I have Misty Step as you teleport
But he has
out. And then,
dimension, though.
then he just.
Yeah, I have dimension though.
All right. This is
This
great.
is-
So tie
this is
together
more-
with your safety rope.
It's more so we don't like lose each other.
Okay.
I'll
so you
fall
guys are
all the
now
way to hell before I fall to a crevasse.
tying yourself together. You begin walking forward. The needles, leaves, and sticks on the ground begin to slowly transition into being under a layer of light frost. As you reach out, or as you reach like the edge of the tree line, the ground has been frozen over just enough to be barren of life. Not snow covered, but a very thin coating of speckled ice over dried mud, lightly cracked. Stretching out before you like an expansive tundra. Far to the left, perhaps a few days' journey, you see the green tips of what Jadir would suspect is likely the Northern Academy. And equally great distance to the right, the forest continues curving up north. Spires of dark rock jutting out from the distant tree line, yet further beyond that. But looming directly before you, not more than a day or two's journey if you keep a good pace, lies the Kuratov mountain range, great snowy peaks that disappear into low-hanging cloud cover.
How is our going? I mean, is there anything that stands in our way other than just vast distance?
No, but I'm gonna need you guys to roll me a 1d100 for every 4 hours that you're traveling here. So if you're traveling 16 hours a day, I'm gonna need you to make me 4 rolls of a d100 here for the first day.
Oh, great.
Alright. Or
I got a 17, a 21, a 66, and an 82.
Awesome.
I got
We only need to do one for the whole party.
Oh, thank God, because I rolled a lot worse.
Okay. As long as you don't roll a 5 or less, you guys are good. So you guys stay overnight. I assume, are you gonna push on through the tundra here overnight?
We slept
I
once.
suppose we would just to get to the foothills of the mountains. I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
All right. So it's gonna
Especially after the warning.
Yeah, it's going to take you about a total of 20 hours of travel. So if you're going to push on through the next day, you can probably get to the other side here by about
4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. So I'm going to need you guys to make me another 6 checks.
Finn, do you want to do this or should I?
I can do it.
Okay, you do.
Unless you insist.
Well, I got a dice roller here. I got a really bad luck last time.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and roll it. I get a 41, a 56, a 7, a 37, a 64, and a 59.
Very good. So on the 7, as you're going forward, you can see something kind of, it looks like a snow dune, maybe? Perhaps rolling across the horizon over on your right. You can feel the ground beneath your feet shaking ever so slightly. Some giant circular shape that like comes out of the ground and then goes back into it, but it's just very strange. Eventually the shaking subsides and the snow dune is no more.
Shadir regrets wearing green.
Does he say that?
No.
Too prideful.
But the rest of the journey passes uneventfully. And as evening begins to roll around, like 4 o'clock, the icy mudlands begin to break their flat, cracked shape into low, sloping hills. As the snow layer begins to thicken as you march on, pine trees begin to pop up, and soon you're striding through a mellow, evergreen forest. You make your trek through the lower mountains, cresting like a small 2-hour peak, and with like these much larger mountains looming directly behind them, towering like giants. It's a beautiful sight, but one that brings the night as well.
Do you have any special preparations for crossing the mountains?
Takes a sip. Oh, do I? My name's...
talking to you.
Sorry. No, I don't really have any special preparation. I do have Dimension Door, though, that will help us across gaps, which should forward the trip quite a bit.
Yeah, let's hope so. I have this strange bracelet as well.
True.
Who knows what that'll do.
God forbid. Let's hope that we do not have to use that.
Which one?
Both. And, yeah, how dangerous are the mountains looking right now?
I mean, they look like mountains. They're snowy, they're tall, they're steep. If you're gonna take like I mean, you're in a bit of a forest right now, so you can't get a super good look. But as you continue forward, you'll begin to get a better understanding of what your surroundings look like. You're in the very beginning of the foothills.
All right.
Oh, what's the worst thing that can happen?
We'll fall down and die. It is the fastest route.
I see it as the only route. So, let's get climbing. I have some rope.
You guys aren't going to bed?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we would definitely rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are rested. Okay, you guys wake up. Nothing happens in the night. I just want to make sure. And I assume you're saying that you're pushing on?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely would. I suppose I have a quarterstaff tucked away. I would pull that out and use it as a walking stick.
Nice.
It's
for
helpful
stability.
here in the beginning. So yeah, you guys continue forward the next morning, and eventually making your way out of towards the top of the foothills here. You get to like this crest, and before you can see there's like this valley with curving slopes. It breaks into a fork some 3 to 4 miles deep. So you could either begin climbing the mountains now, or you can carry on passing through the valley. And the valley, of course, leads to a fork. You can't see where either end of the forks go.
So I'm also assuming that we cannot see if we started to climb now, whether we'd be following the top or.
I mean, you could try and scout out ridge lines. But
Sort of determine one area where the climbing would be, I guess, as low as possible, and try to head for that.
why don't you make a survival check just to see how you feel about the surroundings?
I feel like this is important enough to make enhance ability.
Go for it.
Yeah. So survival. There it is.
No inspiration?
No. 20.
20. Okay. So, you being a man of the north, you would know that that both of these options are pretty viable here. If you ascend the mountains now, you might have a little bit of an easier time following a ridge, but of course you're at the beginning of the mountains and you don't have a map of exactly where the mountains are. Just kind of like a general idea, the mountains are in this part of the world. So you do see a way up right now, but it is a long trek, and if you go through the valley, there's a chance you won't have to do as much climbing. So ascending right now is a little bit safer, but you're guaranteeing that it's going to be a long and arduous trip. If you continue through the valley, there's 2 forks here at the edge. Either of those could go up, and knowing valleys tend to lead to saddles between mountains, there's a chance that you might be able to cross through these mountain ranges without needing to walk directly to a high ridge line. So based on your general knowledge of mountains.
And technically I could but cast Dimension Door over and over again while pulling him in and skip the climb if we go through the valley.
Oh, these mountains are much taller than what a chain of
No, I'm not
doors
talking.
would get.
No, I'm not talking skip a lot of climb, because you said a lot less climb.
Yes.
So just
not guaranteed, but that tends to be how things generally kind of work. Valleys tend to give access to saddles between mountains.
Yeah, but if we went down the top here, we could possibly entirely skip a big climb with Dimension Door.
If you go up right now?
Mm-hmm. Or that's what I'm thinking, because...
No, going up right now means you start the big climb immediately.
All right. How much is 2,000 feet?
Not a lot.
Not a lot compared to these mountains. You guys are, the tundra is basically at sea level. And the tallest mountain here is probably around 22,000 feet tall.
So it's around 609 meters.
And these are at a slope, so it's not like you're directly traveling upwards. The average mountain height here, when you get to the main beef of the mountain range, the average mountain height is going to be between 10 and 12,000 feet tall.
All right. Yeah, then honestly, it's... Actually, yeah, I have a compass. This can actually... Yeah, going through the valley would be the smartest because I have a compass.
To keep our bearing? Sure.
Yeah, because at a point where we notice, we're going away from it, we just climb there.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So valley, and I'll have the compass out the entire time.
Okay. So you begin your trek through the valley. Um, and the wind actually dies down a little bit as you gain cover within this initial valley. As the snow deepens, you're already beginning to plunge your feet in with each step. A journey of what was once a mile becomes an exhausting marathon. After an additional day of trekking through the snow here, you arrive at the fork in the valley. To your right, the valley continues until it meets this like gentle, moderately steep bowl. You notice that there are lines of trees missing from the walls of the bowl as rock formations create natural chutes. To your left is a bit of a steeper climb. There's a bit more rock than snow because of the steepness, and it would be a little bit more technical. But something that catches your eye is that roughly halfway up the side of the valley here on the left looks to be like this snow-covered kingdom of stone.
Yeah, that seems like a bad news.
Are you kidding? That's insanely interesting.
Yes, but what if the locals aren't that friendly in that little kingdom of stone?
Anybody who would choose to live here is completely mental. Best case scenario, there's a horde of weird, haggard vagabonds like the one we met earlier. And that's the best case scenario. I think we should definitely avoid it. But it's incredibly interesting.
Oh, definitely interesting. Just definitely dangerous as well.
Although, we could give it a try.
Quick question. With the survival check, can I check for footprints that lead from that place?
You don't need to make a survival check. This would be more of a perception.
Oh, really? Alright. Alright.
I'll toss my +0 at it.
All right.
15.
15.
13.
13. You guys are relatively certain that you have seen no footprints at all, aside from like occasional animal tracks from small animals, like maybe like forest rabbits, deer tracks, perhaps.
I really want to go and see.
We have saved ourselves 2 days, haven't we? By traveling like this.
I mean, yeah, but again, there's like elevation here, so like you have
Is there
ceased to
anything-
go up the elevation. So both of these sides are going to have to climb. You're not going to have to climb as high as if you had gone up the mountains initially.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, with the... I just remembered something. I don't have to worry about climbing.
That's true. You have boots of spider climbing. Although, you still have to deal with gravity and because snow is not going, like fresh powder snow is not going to hold the weight of your boots. You still have to carve footsteps into the mountain.
Oh, definitely.
You could climb up, so over on your left where you saw that kind of stone snowy kingdom in the mountain, that's much more of a technical climb, meaning that there's a lot more rocks than snow, which your boots would be very helpful for.
I just have this mental image of you spider climbing up the wall, and then there's like half of a Jadir sticking out of a bag of holding, just casting firebolt, firebolt, firebolt.
You know,
Like, give you boosts.
you know, that's what we're doing, I guess.
All right. So you're. Are you? So,
Yes, we're doing the
it took you a
equivalent
day
of bunny
to get to
hopping.
it took you a day to get to the fork. Are you? If you take another overnight trip, I'm gonna give you a level of exhaustion that will take.
We
2
definitely
days
don't
of
want to
rest.
do that.
Yeah.
To get to we're currently at the edge of the valley, right?
You're at the fork in the valley.
So it's
Okay.
going to fork into two directions. One is the bowl, one is the technical climb with the Stone Kingdom.
And it's currently evening time.
Yes.
Okay. Then let's camp out, and then tomorrow we're gonna go hopping away.
All right. So, you guys are going to bed. You wake up in the morning and get ready to continue your trip.
Yep.
You headed out. You trek through the snow, kind of taking turns, like carving steps, kind of post-holing down and having to like dig your leg out and putting it back in the next one. It is an arduous task to head towards this. But as you get closer to this edge of the valley here, it gets a little bit more rocky and a little bit less snowy, which makes walking much easier until eventually you arrive at the wall. Or less of a wall and more of like kind of staggered rocks in a pretty steep direction. What is your plan of attack?
Release the Kraken. I throw Jadir out of the... No. No. So, how... You said there are walls, right? How
I mean, yeah, there's
tall
walls.
How tall are they?
Up to this saddle between the two mountains, so directly in front of you, if you imagine that you're looking at a corner, like a curved corner, this corner goes all the way up to maybe a mountain that's like 14,000 feet tall, and then there's another mountain to your left and to your right, and there's saddles in between these mountains, and on the face directly in front of you, all around you is like rocks jutting out of the snow. Not a lot of trees here. And in the center of the mountain directly in front of you is the Stone Kingdom.
Well, how far have we gone along in the climb at this point?
You guys haven't started yet. I mean, are you guys walking up the side? Just like
I was under the assumption that
are
we
you
had...
actually doing the thing with like the rope in the bag?
Yes, I'm going to be in the bag and then with my pole stick just kind of poking
That's
the ground
hilarious.
along.
Okay, so that's your plan.
Yeah.
I suppose it is.
Gerald, you just start walking vertically up the side of the mountain with like you're holding onto this rope in the bag of holding, Jadir, kind of looking down, swinging back and forth along the cliff side as Gerald's like trying to keep you steady as he's walking up the side. And as you're ascending, a huge storm begins to whip up. And it starts buffeting you with snow and hail at almost hurricane force speeds.
I would, can I, ahead of time for that, if I'm noticing that there's a lot of wind, can I enhance ability and strength?
Yes.
In addition to that, like I'd like to give the amendment that like I'm there with my pole to give like additional
You're
leverage.
like pushing.
Yes, I'm like
it's like what's
pushing
that?
a gun
Getting over it. It's like getting over it.
Yes.
Your stick in the bag.
No.
And I'll burn one bardic inspiration.
This is
And
the
Gerald's like
lamest
singing
I've
a
ever
song
been.
as you're like literally getting over it on the mountain.
Can you imagine
As you're
if the-
walking up vertically on the side of the cliff in the blazing snowstorm.
This is the lamest Jadir has ever been.
This is badass. What are you talking about?
Just fucking up the mountain, Jadir just chilling in the bag of holding, just like, oh, I like the view from here.
And Gerald's like singing a song about how awesome this is. No, you're walking like everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
Why that song?
I don't know. That's the first song I thought of. And you guys are a team, and you're awesome. But as
Is
you guys
that
are,
not what you'd be singing? Are
that
you
is
kidding?
so Gerald. But yeah, as you guys are making your way up through like the rocks and you break into the higher reaches of the valley, the wind definitely starts to pick up, fiercer than you could have anticipated, and carrying with it these like fast-moving particles of ice and snow that feel like barrages of tiny knives. Immediately, you take 3 points of cold damage, both of you.
All right. All right.
And as you're climbing higher, you hear something which takes you a second to realize isn't part of the crazy weather. As you're moving along this narrow cliffside, moving towards like a slope upon which to continue your ascent, this low grumbling call echoes through the valley faintly.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that. That just peaked the audio.
Really?
Yeah, sorry. It sort of cut in and out.
You're just gonna have to imagine this cool, epic grumbling sound shaking through the valley,
Where the heck is that coming from?
far away.
Okay.
Okay, then not our problem.
Yeah, that sounds like a problem for someone else. Maybe there's a brave party of adventurers who are going to take on terrifying monsters in here.
We haven't
Not
bumped
us.
into any, we haven't bumped into any adventurers, really, have we?
We're in the middle of nowhere. My plan is to bump into precisely no one.
Well, yeah, of course. Oh, that should be a character.
As you guys are climbing higher, the higher you go, it seems the storm is picking up. And after another 3 minutes of climbing, you both take another 3 points of cold damage.
Hey, nej. Säg det så kallt.
The wind is picking up and like digging into your skin.
How big of a climb is it to get to the Stone Kingdom?
Probably another 10 or 15 minutes.
All right, then we have no worries at that point.
So you guys are making your way all the way to the Stone Kingdom?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
complimenting Gerald on his cows as we
Alright.
go up on.
You guys are making your way up. It's just like this freezing force of wind digging into your skin like knives. You have to like kind of make your way sideways and like stumble down. It's like a snowy slope sliding between like these larger rocks, which you use to stop your momentum until you land on like the snowy cliffside halfway up the peak. The wind is whipping so strongly that like it hurts to lift your face to observe anything further than your feet. So from this climb, you guys take 10 points of cold damage as your continued exposure out in the frigid blizzard, which strikes you as far fiercer than, well, maybe not you, Jadir, but Gerald, you being a man of the north, this is an absurdly intense snowstorm. You have never seen anything like this in your life.
By the way, what he's saying now at this point, because now it feels like it's taking forever, is like, 99 bottles appear on the wall.
Yes. Yes.
But it's like
it's like in the middle of a whiteout.
Yeah, it's like between like clenching. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. You take one down. Just like that the entire time, and he's like down to 40 something at this point.
Let me hug you for warmth.
He's like, no, get in the fucking bag.
Hate how much value you're getting out of that one.
All right, so
That's the
I
music.
hope you get
That's-
copyright strike.
yeah, I'm making so much ad revenue off of my videos. I'm literally
Yeah,
rich
you
right
have
now.
no idea.
Yep, it's like all 5 views from my mom, my cat, and my fish.
Like your cat watches your videos
You
as well?
have fish?
Yeah, but as you come to the center of this like platform, like finally standing on solid ground, you find yourself in a naturally shielded sanctuary from the howling winds around you. You stand before the entrance to this kingdom. The exterior is either poorly decorated or eroded to time, but the structure stands sturdy nonetheless. There are 2 large sets of stone double doors, roughly 20 feet in height and 10 feet in length, in the center of the cliff face here. and there are two ramp-like walls on either side, providing further shielding from the snow and wind.
Are we going to look inside, or are we just going past?
Well,
I'd like
there's
to know
a
now.
terrible storm outside. I think it's a wasted opportunity, and besides, if we camp outside, I think what might happen is that we get buried in snow. A tiny hut then collapses and buries us under a ton of snow.
So you're telling me you want to be inside that thing?
Yes. Do you need to get warm?
Yes! It is freezing!
It's not a problem. The Jadir conjures a bale of hay. What a way to spend a 5th level spell slot, and just lights it on fire.
The hay bale ignites, burning. It's this nice feeling of warmth fills you guys as you're standing here on this like platform, shivering in the whiteout. You can hardly even see each other's faces because the blizzard is so intense. It prevents you from taking the cold damage you would be taking from standing out here.
Alright, so what will we do once we're inside?
And we explore. Jadir uses mold earth to create like a somewhat of a wall.
Yeah, like a little way to shield yourself from the wind.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
much.
You guys have a little
but,
bit of like a kind of like a sideways overhang, like a rocky umbrella, which makes you even slightly warmer from the chilling winds. As the hay bale begins to slowly flicker out, after burning for only like 50 seconds.
a fast burning bale of hay.
Yeah.
It's a 5-foot cube, and it's just like
Oh, a 5 foot. You can a 5 foot cube of hay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. You guys got like a solid like 10 minutes here.
Alright. How long are we going to be spending inside there? And God
an
forbid
hour,
if it is...
2 tops. Come on.
Alright? It's better be fucking warmer there than it is outside here. Ah,
I
fucking
think it
hell.
has to be. Do you want to get inside the bag? I mean, it's
He kind of looks at, is there any wood? Because you, otherwise I might have think you just jinxed us.
I don't know what you mean.
That's a folk tale thing. Ah, fuck, I'm cold. Let's just fucking get inside, alright?
Inside the place or the bag?
The place!
Oh, all right. Well, let's
How
get
are you
to it
not
then.
cold?
I've been tucked away.
Yeah, he's
Mostly
been
the bag.
all warm. I mean, you are really fucking cold right now, but you have been a lot warmer than Gerald, who's been exposed to the frigid cold. And this is with your snow gear. Imagine if you hadn't conjured that. You guys would be dead right now.
Nice.
He's just like, alright.
Most of my
And,
body has been inside the bag, and it's oddly
In fact, you've been like
okay.
sweating, and now your sweat is like freezing to your body from like, well, actually this is probably you, Gerald. Like you've been like hiking up the side of this cliff, and you're just like sweating because it's a lot of work dragging this fat ass lazy tiefling who's just like poking with a stick behind you as you're walking up vertically up the side of the mountain. You're just like exhausting yourself. You've only slept like 3 out of the last 5 days, and the sweat is now like there are like sheets of ice in your armpits.
I'm taking note of that.
I help.
What a, he's like,
Points at burning hay.
let's just get inside for the love of all that is
All right,
holy and
let's go.
unholy.
All right.
Jadir hurries along.
You guys go to push open the doors, which are just frozen shut by sheer cold. You can see like lines of ice in the cracks where the door would normally be.
What kind of material is the stonework made of?
Stone. The same material as the mountainside. It seems... The architecture is certainly dwarvish in appearance, but it lacks, or it seems to lack, the detailed craftsmanship you would expect from dwarven kind.
Fair enough. Well, we could just dimension door inside.
I think dimension door you have to see.
You do not.
Oh, within range.
So, as long as we don't end inside of a wall. You know? Baby steps.
It's like, alright, so... By the way, are we getting cover in front of the door?
Yeah. You're getting some cover from the wind. And you also have this little stone umbrella and your burning pile of hay, which right next to the door you can see is it's like melting a little bit of the ice out from the cracks as the hay bale begins to burn down.
You like fire, don't you? Do you have that thing, the wall thing? Fire.
Sorry, no.
The fireball? That's a horrible idea, actually.
Are you certain?
We're on the top of a mountain, surrounded by snow, and you're planning
Which is why I asked. I don't think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, that's why I said it was a horrible idea. It is cold, alright?
It is really cold. Do you have a means to fix this, or do I do something about it?
Can I, really quickly, I have enhanced strength on still.
Yeah?
Can I just fucking try, like, out of his own desperation,
Go for it.
push? Okay.
Can I then
bardic
firebolt
inspiration.
or something on the door to try to unfreeze it?
Wait,
Yeah,
give me a
I
second.
think, are you like
1d8.
aiming your firebolt as like the cracks where the snow is like sealing it shut?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god. Alright, so it is a 22.
Damn. Okay. Well, with the, when if Jadir is like melting out the cracks with his like, I'm just like imagining this is technically illegal, but just like using like your firebolt, you're like creating this jet of flame out of your hand, which you just slowly like a blowtorch run around the rim of the door, melting the snow out. And Gerald's just like pushing on it with all his might, and surprisingly, you finally crack the old stone doors open as you push as it slides along the ground with like this screeching sound of like stone on stone. Small pieces of snow and ice dislodge from like a little area above the door as the cracks in the ceiling and flutter down, carried off by whatever wind penetrates the cover. You guys step inside, finally getting a little bit more cover from the cold. The interior is probably much smaller than you expected. The entrance hall is maybe only 100 feet wide and 500 feet long. There are perhaps 20 lines of pillars forming a central path with areas off to either side. At the end of the line of pillars is an empty stone throne. There are also numerous exits leading down further into the mountain. What's most important here, though, is the hundreds of non-dwarven humanoid skeletons littering the ground throughout this hall. They all wear what looks to be dark steel armor and carry various curved weaponry.
Are they animate, or are they just
No, they're
on
dead.
the ground
They're
now?
long dead.
Okay. Creepy. But this is amazing. Come on, let's go.
Are you closing the doors?
No.
Okay.
If anything, he actually pushes it further open, just to be sure.
Okay, you make sure the doors are pushed all the way open as like snow and wind begins to blow into the entrance. But it's not like this was clearly built with natural protection just from the geography around it. So whatever snow is blowing in is fairly minor.
Yeah. So the curved blades.
Ignore that. There's a throne. Let's go find the crown. It'll look great on me.
Jadir, like an excited child, runs over to the throne, and you activate a trap. Just kidding. But that would be really funny, wouldn't it, Jadir?
Because we've dealt with undead, I think, before, right?
Have you?
I think we dealt with once.
I don't think you have.
We haven't? How common are
we dealt with strange things in the mines, but that's about it.
how
think they were
common
undead.
how common is undeath in this world, like zombies and skeletons?
Well, they're certainly not around every corner like most D&D worlds.
I'm talking like, are they infamous enough
I've heard
where?
tales of necromancy and skeletons rising from the
Yeah.
dead,
Okay.
so-
Then like the black armor, the black, the swords, all that stuff. He's like kind of pushing. Like he takes one blade to examine it, but he's like with his foot pushing all the blades away from the corpses. Like
You're just making sure they're away from the hands of the possible rising dead.
yeah, it's like.
Okay.
It's like-
Roll an investigation if you want to take a look at this sword.
All right. Freezing cold investigation. Whoops.
It's
I
also
accident-
really dark in here. I mean, there's some light coming in from outside, but there is no light in here at all.
It's
fine,
13. It's 13.
13? On a 13, you can tell that this blade is definitely elven in craftsmanship, though you can't tell much more than that.
I mean, are these creatures wearing clothes? Or has that deteriorated?
Any fabrics has deteriorated. These skeletons are clearly very, very old, but the armor is still in respectable enough condition, though greatly decayed by time. You can investigate these bodies and armor if you wish.
Nah, he just wants to know. He's like, why on earth would there be elves here? And then he throws away like the blade and the rest of the pile of the swords that he's like.
You've taken all the swords and put them into a pile. These exquisite elven blades are now just stacked up in a pile here.
Oh, who cares? Come
Exquisite
on.
would be a bit of an exaggeration. They are very old and dull.
Yeah. He's like, all right, we'll go look for that fucking crown of yours.
A crown of mine? A crown of whoever built this place?
It will be yours or whoever's if we find it. Is there anything specific about the throne?
So you approach the throne. It's built into the wall. Clearly this place was obviously carved into the mountain. Close investigation, you kind of look around the throne looking for the crown. You can see engraved at the base something in ancient Dwarvish.
I got no idea on that one, Chief.
Do either of you read ancient Dwarvish?
Nerds. That'd be a no.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Khan looks at it. Look. Dwarfy, dwarf, 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 dwarf. Okay, dwarves and elves. All right, I'm cold. Where do we go?
I want to investigate if there's anything interesting in here.
There's exits, there's pathways that go deeper into the mountain.
But is there anything like noteworthy figures? I mean, there's piles and
There's
piles of
piles
bodies.
and piles of these.
Right. Do
humanoid
any of them
bodies.
look, noteworthy, wearing like special armor that's distinct from others,
Yeah.
or?
One of them does wear armor that is distinctly different. Most of these are kind of like these black plates, these black plate armor. One of them has these larger shoulder spikes
and kind of gold, not plating, but rimming on each plate within the armor. It looks far better built than the rest of them.
I'll desecrate his body by going through it, rifling it, disturbing the dead.
Okay.
I want to get an idea of what he's wearing and seeing if there's anything good on him.
You go to rifle through his body. Any basic materials that you think he would be gathering? I mean, you find like a knife alongside his this very nice. Unlike many of the other blades that he's carrying, the blade that he's carrying, which actually Gerald took, so never mind. But the armor itself is definitely the main piece of equipment of value here. And you reckon that this is a fabulous piece of armor.
Was there anything
The
special
deer
about-
steals a silver ring off this man or woman and puts it on.
Quick question.
Silver ring?
He's decked out, right?
I mean, yeah, he does have a ring.
Surely has mundane gear like
He
that.
has mundane gear.
Yeah.
Do you read Sylvan?
No.
Gerald does.
Well, you see
Gerald
a ring with strange. That's great, Gerald, but this isn't your ring. You're looking here at this body. You see like ancient like elvish carvings in the ring. You put the ring on, nothing happens, but it looks nice.
All right. Side passages.
By the way, about all the blades, what you said that one of them was different from the others?
Yes, most of these blades have been kind of dulled by time, but one of these blades still remains, looks to be exquisitely sharp. Just a beautiful craftsmanship. You get a sense that all of these blades at one point in time were beautiful pieces of art, but this one in particular has outlasted the ancient amount of time that has passed. Like for these bodies to completely and fully decay, and all of their like clothing, aside from like non-decaying metal to remain.
Yeah, then I'm yoinking that blade.
It feels incredibly light in your hand. Too light. There is definitely an arcane swiftness to this blade.
Oh, alright. Curious. He's like, do you think this thing is magic? It feels, he kind of like,
Let me take a look at it.
kind of just points it. It's 2 lines, right? And he just kind of plumps it in his hand.
He hands it to you like this 3.5 foot long, like curved elven blade, which you put in your hand. You kind of expect it to have a care, but it feels like paper in your hand, with like a lethal swiftness. You can just kind of naturally like spin it. It feels.
Can I give it a once over and try to understand something about it?
Like an arcana or investigation?
Yeah, I'm thinking Arcana.
Okay.
I get a 23.
23. You kind of like pass your hand along the top of the blade, kind of, reaching out with that sixth sense of just kind of magicalness that you store within you innately. And as you pass your hand, kind of probing the blade, elven runes begin to light up the side as you wave your hand over it like a black light.
What does this read?
Is it in Sylvan or is it in Elvish?
It's in Sylvan.
I can read Sylvan.
All right. It says, "Remember Nerothime."
Remember Nerothime. What the fuck is Nerothime?
I have no idea. Probably meant something for them a long time ago.
Do all of them have these Sylvan things on? He kind of picks up another sword, like...
Other swords don't look anything like this one.
Throws it back into the pile. Did you notice any Sylvan on the armors, or...?
No, not that I can tell. I mean, there's some inscriptions on one that I took a look at, but that's about it.
It's most likely the same thing. Fucking so lazy about this. We're both so lazy about this.
Anyways, I want to take a look at the other passages. I don't know, maybe they have a treasure room.
Does he hand me back the sword, or is he taking it?
I am handing it back to you because I have no use for blades.
The bard using the blade, yeah. Well, granted, fair. I have high
Do
dexterity.
you have, like, base proficiency with anything?
I think, do I have... With scimitars? I don't think I have.
Probably should have, like, a short
I
sword.
believe
don't
it's
you?
like martial weapons.
You definitely don't have martial.
Yeah, no, it's simple, crossbow, hand, longsword, rapiers, and short swords.
Longsword proficiency would allow you to use this.
Oh,
There
alright.
you go.
Alright, I can use a scimitar.
It's technically not a scimitar, it's just a curvy longsword.
Oh, alright, fine. But I can use dexterity for this weapon, right?
For longswords?
Oh, no.
I don't think so. I think longswords are strength based.
Yeah,
They
never
are.
mind.
Yep.
Yeah, never mind. Well, I got...
But
I don't know, who
actually-
knows? Maybe
Actually,
it's a +5 to hit.
actually, you can use dex with this because it is of elvish craftsmanship.
Ah, thank you. That's neat. That's very neat.
There you go.
I know. Longsword.
You look fabulous with it.
It's a bit longer than the rapier. I kind of feel like it's sending the wrong message, you know? One
Who
short blade,
cares
one
about the
long-
message? I think on the stage with that, you'll look dazzling.
Fair.
I'm not saying that you don't already, but come on.
Granted. Do you think we take these things, like, not seriously enough, you know? All these dead bodies, probably very sad.
Oh, well, yes. Let's be somber and perform rites.
Alright, do you know any rights?
Fuck.
There's this kind of the awkward moment of like, alright, let's be somber and do some rights. Alright, do you know any rights? Awkwardly looking at each other. Yeah, I got one. Rest in thine peace, and do not waketh thee back up, and think ye for ye stuff.
Ah, excellent. You have such a way with words.
I don't know. I'm not really the religious type.
All right. Treasury. Surely they have one.
All right, so
Well-
you're descending to explore into these ruins.
Outside is miserable, so why not take a break in here?
Let's go.
Spelunking.
So you guys go spelunking. You descend down into the halls, which are like a small maze of interconnected rooms, generally leading. And actually, let's change the wind ambience here. All right, so so you're going down deeper and deeper. There's a few skeletons in the top rooms, also elves, but it becomes barren of death after that. Each room seems to be the bare minimum of architecture, with little to no detail given to appearance. Some of the passages and rooms are actually natural caves, uneven and jagged, but with most of the worst of the jaggedness grinded down. Each room has its clear intended purposes. Most are living quarters. And why don't you guys both roll me survival checks to see how you can navigate, see if you can look for a treasury or something.
I have no idea.
With disadvantage because you guys aren't dwarves.
I don't think I need to do a disadvantage. I don't think
I
you
get a
can roll.
13.
13.
I don't think you can roll a lower than a 1.
All right, you can, but it doesn't matter. You can't
Well, I
crit
got a-
fail ability checks.
Well, I got a 3 then. I got a 3.
All right. So you guys kind of march around exploring the depths here. You come across several small forges, a little more powerful than like an average blacksmith's. And after maybe only 5 to 10 minutes of exploring, you come to this place where you find that like these halls are converging into a second main entrance hall, much deeper into the mountain. Unlike the rooms above, this hall has a great amount of detail in it. The support columns are beautifully crafted, and the walls are grooved in a way that naturally adds to the polygonal dynamic. There are statues of dwarves with their arms stretched out, like holding one another's hands along the wall. They chain all the way to the end of the hall, converging at a gorgeous set of steel doors darkened by time, but not a hint of rust.
Those look like "Do not touch" is written all over them.
There are dwarvish runes on this steel door.
You know what?
Are they arcane in nature?
Roll an Arcana check.
I get a 7.
You have no idea.
You know, I could just prematurely cast Dispel Magic on that thing, right?
Are there still dead folks around?
Nope.
All right.
Dispel
The
Magic?
dead
Folks kind of faded out after the first couple floors. There's not even a trace of battle in these rooms.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Yes. He... On the door, Dispel Magic.
Is that a touch spell?
No, it is 120 feet of range.
All right, you hold out your hand and kind of reach out, nullifying if and any arcane magic was on the door, to the best of your knowledge.
What did that do?
Well, if there was any spells on it, it's gone now.
I mean, it looked very impressive, but are you sure?
Yes, that is how the spell works.
All right. Jadir will move to open the door.
All right,
Roll a
you go
wisdom
towards
save.
the door, and you're going with him, Gerald?
Yeah.
All right, so as you do, as you get close to this door, kind of staring at the wall, your sword that you're holding, Gerald, are you still holding the longsword?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you begin to feel like this arcane energy drawing out of it, and suddenly, as you're approaching this, for some reason, like you can read these dwarvish runes. How?
Wait, what?
It's like for some strange reason, you can comprehend languages right now, just while you're holding this blade. The runes on the door, they read, "Though we stand little chance on our own, through fire we will triumph. Though we may be lost to the forge, through Duraeum we will live on."
He kind of looks. Is it just me, or are we suddenly able to read Dwarvish?
What?
You can't read this?
No.
Huh. I read up loud what it says.
All right. Well, since this appears to be a you thing, do you want to give the door a go?
Sure. He kind of nudges the door a tiny bit, like.
You nudge the door, and as you just nudge it, the door begins to slowly move open as you just gently nudge it, moving aside with ease.
Do you
So are
think
you
that
pushing
maybe
further?
we're? Yeah, he's like. Do you think maybe we're just a bit too paranoid, and they just left it unlocked? That would not be very dwarvish, though, would it?
Seems strange. But who
You
can
dwarf-
say?
Do dwarves ever forget to lock their front door?
I don't know. Maybe there was a battle with a whole lot of elves.
True. Do you think they were fighting each other? Or do you think something else killed them all?
Who cares?
The
I very
doors.
much-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. He's like, I very much care.
The doors continue to move open, and beyond the door is a narrow bridge leading to a large circular platform. The platform is the top of a pillar that leads down some ways into the abyss below. The room is faintly lit by a dim blue glow coming from what looks to be a glass cathedral window at the far end of the platform.
Well, that looks interesting. Let's go take a look.
Jadir starts rushing forward excitedly. And as you go onto this platform, you're looking around, you can see the faces of dwarven statues on small pillars around the center platform as you come closer. And as you near the blue light, you can see now that it's coming from an inner sanctum behind a glass door. Inside is a single anvil centered on the room, built out of faintly glowing blue metal. Hundreds of chains hang from the ceiling. The walls and floors are covered with dwarvish designs. And leaning against the far wall, some 250 short dwarvish skeletons lay holding hands.
I really do not like this. At all.
Well, I mean, they were clearly trying to prevent some kind of calamity happening and failed. Desperately.
You're not
Right?
helping. You're not helping.
Oh, come on. They're long gone, right?
I don't know. I always hear stories about undead and how terrifying they are. And I'm not wanting to meet kind of points at the
But I
crowd.
don't care about the bloody anvil.
You said the animal is glowing, right?
Yes.
Have I ever heard any stories about glowing metal like this?
Could roll a pretty high DC history check.
Fuck it, yeah, I'll just roll. 6, no idea.
No idea. It looks nice though.
Do we touch the anvil?
Why?
I'm curious, it's glowing blue.
Yeah, as you
It's
guys
like
are
you-
standing on the platform, you're watching this glowing blue anvil, and you suddenly hear chains rattling, not from the ceiling where the chains are hanging, but from a little bit behind you, from below that large pillar, from the abyss below. Quiet thumps and scratching.
Hide! I am
We
going
just
to...
take a torch and just drop it down there.
You take your torch, and as you start walking towards the edge, you hear this low grumble that echoes through the chamber around you.
Oh, not this thing again.
From around you, then, as you look over the side, click, clink, clank, and the screeching of nails on a chalkboard, and you drop your torch down into the abyss, and it falls down about 100 feet before it illuminates like these charcoal metallic scales that reflect light like a mirror, and you can see like these pupilless nebulas of orange and blue light, which gaze upon you with the intensity of 1,000 eyes as the torch just like dinks off its face, and then continues its tumble down into the abyss. You can now see this dragon moving up the side of the pillar, clink, 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 climbing up towards you.
Kadir turns around.
He's like, what is it?
Are you running?
I think there's like this hurried shuffling, not running, trying to be a little bit quiet. It's like, I think we should just, go.
Is it hiding time?
Yes.
All right, take this, and I cast Enhance Ability on both of us for dexterity.
Click, clink, clink, clunk. As it's like screeching as you see now dragon claws hooking over the side of this pillar. And as it comes up higher, you see you guys turning around like, well, hide! Where are we going? Let's get out of here! And you see this draconic form, this dragon with these charcoal metallic scales that reflect light like quite literally a mirror. It's now staring down at the two of you. These eyes are unlike anything you've ever seen, anything you've ever heard of. They're like nebulas without pupils of orange and blue light. And the dragon takes a deep inhalation through its nostrils, like, "You are not dark elves." And that is where we will end today's session.
Well, shit.
Okay. Well.
Time to draw inspiration from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes, let's do performative dancing.
I roll to seduce.
Oh no, it's a dragon, I'm a bard. You know,
You will find yourself in a glass bottle.
You know, I'm so tempted to just say, enhance ability again, charisma, bardic inspiration. So anyways.
As I was saying, how you doing?
How you doing? You a dragon, me a human. You know how it goes.
I hate you so much.